Hello, my name is Dominic Uber, and I will be talking about the residential construction industry and why, despite high demand for builders and a strong demand for houses, builders are going bust and struggling with the market. First, let's establish a few elements. The population is growing, and it's getting faster. Not only do more people need homes now, but people are going to need homes in the future. Despite our growing population, dwelling construction is increasing not as you would expect. It's a bit fluctuant, and you would expect it to be increasing as time goes on. If you have a look at the graphs, we'll actually notice that there are spikes just after 2020 that come back down after 2022. We need to keep this in mind when moving forward and talking about why builders are going bust. We can see in this first graph, cash rate starts to get low and falls dramatically in 2020, which is where the spike of building happened. This is likely to do with COVID and wanting to increase more cash flow into the economy. This meant that people were able to borrow a lot of money very cheaply and afford mortgages that they might not have been able to afford. However, in this next graph, we see that the cost of lumber skyrockets. It represents how mostly all over the world, prices of materials increased as COVID hit and work had to kind of stop in many places. So Bob buys a home for roughly $400,000, and the market's quite competitive at this time because, well, everybody's got cash, there's high demand, but there's also a lot of competition. Then accept the price for the house at a fixed price. Then prices skyrocket for materials, and labor goes up as well. This means that the builder has to take the hit, cost around $450,000 just to break even. But because it's a fixed rate, the builder has to eat that cost. This would then mean that the builder goes under, and likely with multiple projects ongoing. That would leave Bob out of pocket. It would also leave contractors not having gotten paid, and this kind of makes a little bit of a flow-on effect. And with the cash flows that are affecting every builder at this time, it wouldn't be able to happen. And it kind of just dominoes and continuously brings down builder after builder. This is an interesting graph that you would see in economics, which is showing how the zoning laws are actually creating demand and lowering the supply when there could otherwise have been supply to meet that current demand. This relates to our culture of people don't want big apartment blocks within their neighborhood. And why is this relevant? When the land is more valuable than the house, people are going to have a lot less money to spend on the house and are unable to create cheaper homes. Basically, it just complicates the market more. When we look through the lens of Pestle, we can see that there are multiple elements affecting the industry of residential building. First of all, there's the political element. There's pushback from people with houses that have these houses as investment, so they don't really want the price of the land to lower, meaning that they might be wanting less houses, but at the same time, there's also a push for more houses. On top of this, there's also taxes and council rates to owning these houses. The economy has been unpredictable. Whether that's because of government policy or just because of global policy, materials, they're fluctuating. They are rebounding from COVID, but it's still a bit of a hit and miss on what is going to be working and what isn't. Currently, labor would be considered a bit higher. There's definitely a need for electricians and plumbers. In terms of the social factors, people are having different expectations for their homes. People are also living for longer. People want the Australian dream, the house that with the backyard and the patio, but that's also because of zoning laws. Technology is kind of stagnant environmentally. Houses are being more environmental than they ever have been. And there are factors that are being considered like insulation, the building materials, and other factors. Like after that, we have legal, and that will be the zoning laws. It's just really stopping builders from building the types of houses or homes people might want. High density housing to really lower the price.